everyone, it's Genene. Welcome to day 3. Today we're focusing on the thoracic spine, the 12 vertebrae in your mid and upper back that protect the spinal cord, so pretty darned important. It has limited mobility, so it's a little more challenging to access because its movement is more subtle than other parts of the spine. Grab a chair, maybe a blanket if you have sensitive knees. Remember to click that subscribe button. And remember at the end of this, if you like this video, please click the like button. And let's begin in Sukhasana, easy cross-legged position. And so taking care of yourself, make sure that you're comfortable and your knees are in line with your hip bones, and then gently allow your eyes to close. Folding your hands together, connect your thumbs with your heart in this Anjali Mudra, hand gesture. A reminder that we're coming from our heart center. Our word for today is caring. Caring for yourself and caring for others. So I invite you to choose as you're moving through your practice today to truly keep this in mind. Asking yourself, am I caring for myself right here and right now? From your heart center, state your intention for this practice today. Release your hands back down to your thighs. Gently opening your eyes, the box breathing technique. We use this particular breathing technique to calm the nervous system and to create mental focus. Anytime you're going into an extremely stressful situation, I invite you to remember this breathing technique and use it and see how it works for you. You're going to inhale to the count of 4, hold for the count of 4, exhale for the count of 4, holding for the count of 4, and then keep going. So it's like a box. Let's try it. So first, exhale all your air out, and then inhale to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. And then keep going on your own. Eyes open or closed. Notice how this feels for you. Whether you feel calm or anxious as you get used to this breathing pattern. And keep your breath moving slowly. Sometimes there's a tendency to want to hurry up the breathing or maybe just hurrying up the inhales. This is a balanced breathing technique. Exhaling as deeply as you inhale. Wherever you are, do one more round. Inhaling to the count of 4, holding for the count of 4, exhaling to the count of 4, and then returning back to your natural breath. Notice how you feel now compared to like a minute ago. Gently open your eyes. Let's take a gentle twist to the right. Left hand on right thigh, right hand behind, twist, and then go to the other side. Just see how this feels. Inhale back to center. Now let's break it down into the different parts of the spine, because what happens is, let's start with the cervical spine. So that's your neck. So turn your head to the right. See how far it will move. And then go to the left. You'll see you have a great range of motion, at least a lot more than the other curves in your spine. Now come back to center. But we want all the parts of the spine to move together. So we're breaking them up into pieces. So now take one hand to your heart, one hand to your rib cage. Let's move into thoracic spine, the middle part of your spine. And that has a whole lot less movement. So takes more work. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, just move these parts. The hands are there to help you feel that. Actually, take your hand to your belly. And your belly's not turning on this one, just your heart. And then inhale, center, and you probably didn't move nearly as far as you did with the head. Exhale to the left. See, it feels like when you turn your neck, like you're doing a huge twist because you're seeing something different. Inhale back to center. That's not what we're going for. So could you isolate that movement? Maybe again to the right and center. You don't have to switch your hands every time. I just do. I don't know why. Left and center. Now the lumbar spine gets to move. So now you can move, keep the hands the same. Inhale, lengthen, and letting the neck not be part of this yet. Exhale, you're spinning now the belly and the heart. You've heard that before, right? The lumbar spine and the thoracic spine are moving. And then back. And so can you feel how now it's different than we did with just the thoracic? It's really subtle, but if you can get that, you can apply it to the rest of your practice and notice when one part is moving too fast or not enough. So now, going back to step one, what we did before with a lot more instruction. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, left hand, right thigh, right hand behind you, lengthen again. And this time you're turning the belly and the heart and the head. So lumbar spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine, all twisting together. And it's like you're spinning up, revolving up, up, up through the crown of your head as you spin to the right. Inhale back to center, moving together. Right hand, left knee, inhale. Exhale, twist. You can notice for yourself, can you feel how the lumbar spine has more mobility than the thoracic spine, and you maybe need a little more effort to get the thoracic to move? And you actually have to tell the neck, no, 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 we're not ready for you to go that far. It can move a little further if your neck is okay. If you have any injuries in your neck, then your head is going to be in line with your heart. But if you don't, that's fine. You just don't want to over crank it and then the shoulder rolls forward and everything. Inhale back to center. Let's balance that out with a different kind of twist. Hands and knees. Thread the needle. First, feel your arms supported by the earth. They're not just dangling here. The earth is there for it. Are you allowing that support from the earth to your hands, to your knees, to your feet? Let's play with taking away a little of that support. Take your right hand behind your head, and then, like we did sitting, find your heart center. Take your hips, keep them pointed down, keep your belly pointed towards earth. And now inhale, twist just your heart to the right, and then exhale, come back to center. Inhale and exhale. It's a small movement. Let it be small. Keep pressing your head back into your hand. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Switch hands. Left hand behind your head. Head goes straight back into the hand. And then inhale, turn the heart center to your left. Exhale, center. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then inhale, exhale. Left hand down. Keep the arms down. Keep the hands connected with the earth. Really press down through your fingers. Pull up through the center of your palms and through the back of your arms, gazing a little bit ahead of you, like 3 feet on the floor so your neck is nice and long. And then shoulder protraction, retraction. So protract the shoulders by pushing the floor away, letting those shoulders protract round. And then on an inhale, retract the shoulders so the shoulders come together towards each other. And then exhale, push, inhale, and feel that movement in the shoulders. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. And then inhale and exhale, and then find Goldilocks, find the center, find just in between. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Lift your knees and press your thighs back, stretch. Step your left leg forward right between your hands, however you need to do it, grabbing your ankle, whatever you need. And spin your right foot flat. Now your left forearm, you can bring it to your thigh or down on the outside of your left leg, your choice. And then circle the arm, the right arm, a few times in one direction, inhaling up and exhaling down. And then go the other direction. Just like that. Opening the chest, the shoulder joint. Exhale, hands come down. And then step your left leg back and right leg forward. Right hand goes down or the right thigh. Spin the left foot down. Inhale, left arm up and circle the arm, whichever direction you want. Feeling your way through these movements and then the other direction. And you be strong enough to acknowledge what you're really feeling. And then exhale, left hand comes down. Step your right foot back to meet your left. This is an option to come into a twist. So with yourself in downward facing dog, making sure that you've got a nice neutral spine, you might walk just a little bit closer and then take your right hand, lift it in the air, and then right hand grabs left ankle or outer leg, and you've got a nice gentle twist, but the belly is still pointing towards the floor. Just the heart turns a little bit to the left, looking underneath your left arm. Inhale back to center, and then going to the other side. Left hand grabs a hold of that right leg somewhere, and then you do the twist. So feel that connection of the hand and the foot, feeling the support there, so that you can go into this intense, tiny little twist. And then inhale back to center, come down onto your knees, and place the crown of your head on the ground. Reach back, grab your heels, pull your low belly up, and flex your spine. Deep breaths into whatever you're feeling here. Release back onto all fours. Lower down onto your belly, however you want. If you want an extra chaturanga, you can do that. Or knees on the floor. Cobra, Bhujangasana, specifically to strengthen the muscles of your thoracic spine. So chest open, extend up through the crown of your head, root down through the legs. And then inhale, lift your chest. Maybe it's a little one. Maybe it doesn't feel good to go up any higher today, so you might be pretty low. If you have the mobility, only if you have the mobility, lifting your heart, remember caring for yourself and how you feel today. Hold. Feel the strength you're building. Exhale, release. Hands underneath forehead. Let's come up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Standing feet hip bone width apart and feet parallel. Feel the steadiness of your mountain pose, and let's do some thoracic movement standing now. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. And just keep your arms wherever they need to be so that you don't feel hunched in your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, lean up and over to the right. And then inhale up. And exhale, lean up and over to the left. And then inhale, lift up to center. Exhale, lower your arms. Now let's move our thoracic spine in another direction. Take your legs nice and wide. Feet still parallel though. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow halfway. Take your hand to the floor or to a block underneath your head. Left hand to your low back. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then find your thoracic spine and twist it to the left. So take your hand now to your heart and feel your heart moving, but not your belly. Little movement here. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, and maybe you extend your arm. Maybe that just does not feel good. And exhale, lower down. Left hand down. First, you bring it to your low back as you twist. So you're feeling how the low back is not twisting as you turn to the right. Then take your hand to your heart to feel that heart moving. And then maybe you extend your arm, maybe not. Exhale, set everything down. Hands to your hips. Inhale, rise up. Draw your legs together, and now you need your chair. You don't need your chair so much as it's an option. So we're grabbing a chair. Most people have chairs. You could throw a blanket, not a blanket. Don't throw a blanket. Throw a mat onto your chair seat if it's bare, and then come onto your forearms. If you put a blanket, it might slide. Will slide. That's terrible. So on your forearms, going to push the floor away and then lift your knees off of the floor. So forearm plank on the chair seat, which is going to be helpful later on when we come down to the floor. If you want, you can always grab your chair and do it this way instead. Now, side plank on the forearms, take your feet a little wider, spin your heels to the left, take your left forearm across the chair seat, and then maybe you just stay here and work. Now we're turning the entire torso from left to right, and reach your right arm up to the sky. Push down through that, pull it underneath you, and hang out here. You could stack your feet if you want it harder. And then exhale, come down. Let's try the other side. So you start in your plank, feet a little wider than normal, so that you can spin your heels to the right. Feel your whole torso turning to the left. Then you take your right forearm, cross it over, and then you could stay here and just focus on the twist or extend your left arm up to the sky. You could stack your feet. This is harder. And if it's still too hard on the chair, you can do this against a wall. Come back down. You can get some work against a wall. You can go onto a countertop, something higher than a chair. And now walk yourself forward. Come back to Tadasana. Take a breath. Okay. It's like you're reorganizing. You're throwing yourself off center, and now you're coming back. Come back to your heart center. Hands together. Connect your thumbs with your heart. Close your eyes for a moment to reconnect with your heart. Option to do that again, just like that, or on your hands. So let your eyes open and either bring your hands to the chair seat again and step back, or come back down onto your forearms. It's your choice. So if you're going to do the hands, place the left hand flat on this chair seat, and this is where it's much better if you have a more solid surface. Spin your heels so your feet are wide enough, and spin the eye of the elbow forwards so that it's going in line of your fingers like that. And that sets the shoulder blade on the back properly. And then push that chair seat strongly. Reach up through your right arm if you choose. Lift your waistline. Feel your thoracic spine strongly supporting you here. Recruiting that support where you're touching the ground. Feet, hands, in between, thoracic spine working. Now, switch right hand down, come back to center, and then spin the heels to the right. Elbow, eye of the elbow goes forward. Push down through all the knuckles of the fingers, especially the inner edges. Lift your right arm up to the sky. Lift your waistline. Maybe you stack your feet, maybe you don't. So your right shoulder is over your right wrist. And then you lift up. Maybe. Maybe you don't want to stack the feet. And then come back to center. And lower your knees down onto the floor, and chair goes away. Grab your 2 blocks. So 2 blocks, you can start them on level 2. This is level 2 here. You're going to lie down for a nice little heart opener. If that's too intense, you can spin it down to level 1, or you can grab a couple blankets and lie down on the blankets lengthwise instead. So the way it goes is this goes in between the middle of your shoulder blades. Shoulder blades. You do not want it to go into your low back because that's too mobile. And we know all about the mobility of the different spines. Well, we're going to anyway. The thoracic spine doesn't have a lot of mobility. So when you put your head on the second block, bring your arms by your side. If your chin is pointing straight up to the sky and you can't lengthen through the crown of your head, you need to elevate this block. So spinning it up to level 3 is probably too much, but you could throw 2 stacked blocks or add a blanket. Get creative. You could stack several blankets instead. And wherever you're at, let yourself get connected to the block. So in other words, there's this feeling at first of trying to lift off of the block. So take your mind and say, okay, it's safe. I want you to sink down into the block and release. Now here it's going to depend on how high up you've propped yourself or how far down. You could, from here, turn your palms down, press down, and lift up. You may be low enough that you could bend your knees instead and roll to the side to roll off of your props. You're going to choose for yourself. Sometimes you need to take your hands to the back of your head for support and then roll up. Choose what's right for you and then come down into Shavasana. You did it. Now feeling all 4 curves of your spine, specifically focused on that thoracic spine. Take your hands to your low ribs. Take a deep inhale. Let the rib cage expand. And as you exhale, feel those lower ribs knitting together and then arcing into the earth. So you can feel even with your fingers, oh yes, it's connected to the earth. And then extend your arms, palms face up in this gesture of receiving. Allow your eyes to gently close to receive the benefits from your practice. Enjoying where your heart feels more open-hearted. You may choose to stay here longer or take a deeper breath. Wiggle your toes, your fingers, or your ankles, your wrists. Feel the floor beneath you. Inhale your arms overhead, point your toes. Gently pull your low ribs down into the earth with your arms overhead. And then exhale your arms back down by your sides. Bending your knees, roll onto your right side. Press yourself up to that seated position. And gently close your eyes. Fold your hands together in front of your heart and feel. Specifically, fully in your whole body, but also specifically today in your shoulders, in your chest, and your mid body. How does it feel? Truly, honestly, does it feel more open, more closed? And focused more on maybe the subtle openings that you've created in your practice today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Namaste.